Hello everybody, my name is Kenneth and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be diving back into DPR Ian. We are checking out the official MIITO movie today, part 1. Before we get into this, I'm going to try and keep this as brief as possible. I want to apologize for the lack of DPR Ian content that I have been posting of late. I've been having kind of an existential crisis with reactions in general, kind of thinking what content I want to react to, what I don't want to react to. Because I don't do things like Patreon and stuff like that, I don't want that added pressure. Reacting to interviews and variety content and stuff like that, not like this, obviously, this is part of Ian's art, but reacting to that type of interview content, it's not my place, I don't feel. I don't feel like I add anything entertaining or value to my reactions in those videos. And so I feel like for the foreseeable, I'm not going to do any of that type of content on my channel. That being said, of course, I will watch those recommendations that were given for interviews, for instance, in my own time. I just don't want to be that kind of reactor that's kind of just like for 5 minutes or however long an interview the content is. So I hope that's okay with you guys. That being said, I am really looking forward to this. I don't know anything going in what we're going to be kind of getting visuals or storytelling wise. I'm really looking forward to this. Pause warning, I am a pauser. That's another reason why I don't feel like interviews are my type of thing. I like to get analytical and deep dive into the content that I'm watching, which means I pause a lot, as well as the fact I am autistic and pausing helps me process my thoughts just a little bit. Not always, but most of the time. And so, yeah, my content, my way of interpreting and understanding content in that way, I don't feel like works with interviews and stuff because it's not like I have to deep dive into anything. It's all being said there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, pause warning. But if you're okay with that, we are going to be checking out the official MIITO movie right now.
Where did I go wrong with you?
Ooh. Already, I'm loving the really stylized coloring, the vivid greens and yellows. I love that it seems like we're almost getting a kind of interpretive dance choreographed piece already in the center here. I'm gonna go back. I'm also intrigued by the little lightning and electrical arcs that were here. DPR visuals and Ian. Okay.
Out of all my creations, you are the epitome of all that is good, the utmost of my potential. You are my first.
Ooh, I love how he had all of the song titles in boxes, and then you had that oh, they were almost, it's almost like an evidence locker kind of thing, where they're not supposed to be seen, they're not supposed to be exposed to the light, but then you had at the end MIITO ravaging the inside of the box, trying to push himself out. Well, this is interesting. This is really interesting. Yeah, and especially with the ultraviolet light as well. That even more adds to this kind of revealing what is hidden, which if that's the point of this movie, that's really, 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 really clever.
The utmost of my potential. You are my first.
And I'll make sure to be your last.
Ooh.
You created me in your image. And now it's time to create mine and yours.
I'm sorry, that was dramatic and cool. Like, that. I created you in my image and then MIITO coming in and now I'm creating you in. Oh, that was. Oh my god. it's so interesting as well, seeing these beautiful uh cinematic pieces of these two different, they're almost like fighter warriors, I guess, um that represent the light and the shadow, um and of Ian and MIITO. That's so interesting.
And I'll make sure to be your last. You created me in your image, and now it's time to create mine and yours. Set my wings on fire. Set my wings on fire.
Sorry, I'm gonna come back. The strings in the back there, oh, they're angelic, which is perfect. I love the way that while the lyric that's being sung is "My wings are on fire," visually, it's almost like instead the wings are forming from that fire. It's all these little lights. It's almost like the embers burning of if you imagine an angel wing with feathers. It's almost like they're burning, but you can still tell that they once were wings. That's so interesting. Sorry, what does that say? Does that say scrap with a H? Scrap? If anyone, or is that an E? Oh, it's a serif. I can read. That's a me issue. I'm so sorry, you guys. I can read, I promise. Sometimes. Serif, that makes sense. It's interesting that though that's in blood red. Almost like a fallen angel. Interesting. I'm sorry, the way I'm loving the contrast between the light and the shadow. We always have this with kind of Ian's lore at large, if you like, the overall concept of his art feels like it fuels this contrast between himself and his other alters. Obviously, I don't think at this point he knew all about the different alters that he has, or that he has maybe is the wrong verb, but I hope you understand what I mean when I say that. But it's so interesting seeing that embodied in the struggle between dark and light. It's also interesting here. There's obviously there is fire on the screen, but a lot of the effect on the cloak of the burning seems to be created by like some kind of particle, like sand or something. Almost like he's being it's almost like the combination of little things, kind of like almost like in his real life. It's the combination of all those little bits of trauma, those little bits of difficulty in his life where MIITO had formed from, kind of thing. It's the combination of those that have created that altar and created that form and purpose for MIITO, it feels like. This is stunning. I'm genuinely like just when I saw the shot, I think it was just a little bit earlier. I think it was just after, literally just after this. This shot here, I was like, oh my god, this would fit so well in a movie. Like when I say a movie, like a cinematic release. I should probably clarify that difference, because obviously this is also a movie. But when I use the term movie in my head, I always think of a long form cinematic release kind of thing. If that makes sense. But it's so well shot. It's so beautiful, and I love the attention to color. there's a lot of reds, a lot of yellows, a lot of yellowy greens or greeny yellows, whichever. Are you a glass half full, glass half empty person? I guess. So it's so interesting. I was really confused there. That was a real change up. I was like, I had to kind of pause and check where we were in the video because I was like, wow, 7 minutes went by really fast with that. Holy hell, we're not even 2 minutes in. I like again, I keep talking about the contrast, but here, the way that MIITO is, I love the idea of the reverse fall, because obviously in a lot of mythology and things like that, we always hear about the fallen angel, Lucifer, but we never. I guess we kind of do hear stories about him trying to get back into heaven, but it's never a positive story. It's never like he's trying to regain I don't know. But what I was going to say is I love that we have here this juxtaposition between a reverse fall and the way that MIITO comes to the surface. And it's almost like, again, when I was saying earlier about like keeping secrets, and then you have the sun coming out. It's like he's done his part, so now it's almost like the real world is trying to put him back in that little box that we saw earlier, because he's done his job. He's not meant to be there full time, but you see the struggle that he has of he's trying to, he is physically rising throughout this part, but he's trying to beat out the sun, which is so interesting. This is so cool. Yeah, this change-up shocked me. I was like, what? Oh, I love the tremolo.
One more shot so casually, one more down and I'm meant to be. Have I gone too far with this? Can you see me in the mirror?
I wasn't expecting like different songs throughout this. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting. It's almost like and I obviously haven't heard the whole MIITO album yet, but it's almost like it's a highlight medley, but he's giving, and I don't know if these are origin songs that are necessarily on the album, but if they are, it's almost like he's giving each one time to breathe, like, because obviously with highlight medleys it's generally like, here's 5 seconds of one song, now 5 seconds, and so on and so forth, but he's giving each piece, certainly each musical piece, even if they're not album songs, time to breathe, which is really interesting. The sound of it is giving quite traditional in the instrumentation, I think, but it creates this mysterious aura to it.
One more shot so casually, one more down and I'm meant to be. Have I gone too far with this? Can you see me in the mist? One more so casually, one more down and I'm meant to see. Have I lost my sense of bliss? Have you found me in the...
The change up, I really wasn't expecting that change up. Again, like I said, I was like, oh, it sounds quite traditional, quite maybe you might even say like acoustic with the I'm assuming it's like a nylon acoustic guitar, but I could be wrong. But then it changed up with this more uh, energetic beat, and I just wasn't expecting that at all. So, okay, so the title, because I'll be honest, I saw Seraph One Shot Mood Ribbon, obviously in the title before this, but I wasn't making the connection to why they were in the title. And obviously we had Seraph first, then we had One Shot. So are these songs that are on the album? And I forgive me that I haven't checked out the album yet. I think I don't know if I might do that in my own time. Or not. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what I'm doing in my life. But I hadn't but if they are previews, it's very interesting. A way of doing it. Um,
Got and sentimental, swimming with the devil. Got me reaching for the air, baby, get the memo. Take away my only kryptonite. Mood swings in this sort of home survive. Steady, heavy, when I swing down, baby, we ready to take the world out. Baby, are we really just in love now? Steady, heavy, when I swing down, baby, we ready to take the world out. Baby, are we really just in love now? One more.
oh, I like that change up. I really like the way Scaredy Cat was filmed in the hotel kind of setting. It's interesting the contrast between this kind of desert-esque location versus that, because you have that very real contrast between freedom and constriction. You've got four walls in that little room, you know, and again, it's evocative of a box. You're trapped in a box. You're trapped in a cube. With the desert, not only do you have the physical wider space to fill out kind of before you're trapped in another box, if you like, you have also this emotional sky. You know, we were going through rage and frustration, and then here it feels like when we're in this sunset scene, it's almost like calm, and it almost feels, and I don't know if I'm completely off base with this, you guys have to let me know, but it feels like this is MIITO's way of kind of saying, I'm not just this speck of sand on your collar, or speck of dust on your your dressing table or something. I feel the full spectrum of emotions just the same as you do. I have wants, I have needs, I have a consciousness just like you. And obviously for Ian at this time, where I feel like this maybe was when he was learning more about himself, I wonder how he felt, because I know it feels weird saying like this is MIITO's movie, but like you have to think about it from both sides, because these are two fully realized personalities fighting for space in the same physical container, if you like, the same physical box, if you want to keep that metaphor going. And I don't know, there must be an element of fear in there, because not knowing a part of yourself, I guess, that I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but not not do you guys know what I mean? Like not knowing that this altar exists, because of the way that altars seem to form, if I understand it right. It's almost like a part of himself. I don't know what I'm trying to say, you guys. But there must be an element of fear anyway, not knowing what is happening. You know, if he wakes up in different places, if people tell him that they've already seen him or things like that. When in fact, for him, from his perspective, they haven't, because they've seen MIITO. It must be just so scary going through that. And so that's kind of why I'm trying to say, like, this is really long-winded, but that's why I'm trying to see, like, how he feels at that point, because we're seeing how MIITO feels throughout this, because he just feels like he's climbing a huge staircase, you know, trying to get to where because he feels entitled to this space as well, and he keeps getting pushed back and stuff like that. I don't know. That was a really long waffle. I'm so sorry.
Who's coming? Let's not wait and find out. He's dipping. He's going down. Please just shut up. Now's not the time. I have to take it. Now's not the time. I can't feel. He's out. No, please. You know what will happen if you take that now. I'm sorry. Everything will be okay.
That was haunting, the way that those voices and that battle between himself and those voices unfolded. With regards to this medication that's kind of here, not only the coloring, but is making me think this, but obviously where I think Ian was in his kind of own journey. I'm assuming these are his bipolar medications, question mark. So I feel like it's interesting here, if that's what that represents. It's interesting here, them being kind of colored the way they are. They're very shiny. They're very they draw your eye. It feels, it's interesting. It feels like, especially with the monochromatics scene that we have, it's almost like these are what bring him color to the world. Otherwise, it's almost like this is what we see. This is what we see. This is what he sees, and that's what we're seeing. But it's interesting, the battle between, I'm calling it the battle because obviously we had battle scenes earlier, but the struggle between Ian and I'm assuming it's Ian at this point, Ian and the voices. It's almost like him taking these pills is what allows MIITO in. Because when I first got into this, this wonderful man's music and this wonderful man's art, I understood, or the way I understood the process was, there was it was an unconscious choice, the movement of the personalities, but yet it feels like here, by taking these pills, it becomes a very conscious choice, and then it's almost like he willingly moves aside for a time to allow MIITO to come to the surface. And I don't know if I'm understanding that right, and please let me know if I'm getting it completely off base. But it's interesting because, like I said, my understanding was completely different. I thought it was an involuntary kind of thing. That was the word I was looking for, involuntary kind of shift between the host and the alters. If I'm wrong, please let me know on that. But that's interesting as well, because then obviously we go into this more colorful world, or at least colorful form. after he takes them.
Everything will be okay.
I'm really I know that the song, I'm assuming again song titles, is in the title, but I forgot what it was for a second. So when it came up as Doom, I was like, what does that say? Sorry. Ooh.
Color in my mood,
My mood.
no blues.
Blues.
You're violet on horizon.
Forgot my screws,
My screws.
my booze. My love brings
All the lions.
I don't assume.
I love the way that we're playing with pitch here. The delivery, because MIITO is usually, it's interesting, MIITO in my understanding is usually the lower voice. Like when it comes to delivering vocals, Ian's kind of the mid-range, high range at this point anyway. And then MIITO is this lower form that we've been hearing. But here it feels like instead of just those low parts, it's almost he's the extremes of both. So you have these manipulated higher tones as well as these deep lower tones. And so it's interesting. It's almost like if we go back to the voices, because I thought it was just Ian's kind of doubts, but it almost feels like instead it's MIITO's ability to manipulate his vocal pitch in this way. He pretends to be those voices in order to prey almost. It sounds villainous almost, to prey on Ian's weakness, to get him to move out of the way, so that he can take his place, which is interesting.
That you knew that I miss you.
When it's quiet.
Oh, it's true. I want you
It's getting dark.
tell me if I'm lying. Oh, I just came back from the moon, from the lightning coming from your nude. Violence holding on to your tune. My moods are swinging for you. Oh, I just came back.
I love that the rhyme of the ooh 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 sound, but the lyric that got me, the violin stuck on your tune, I think it was. I think what I like about that line as so much, and why I'm drawn to it, I don't think I said it right anyway, but why I am drawn to it is Ian seems to really enjoy, and I'll call them cinematic here, really cinematic strings and string sections in a lot of his music. And so it feels like a personal reflection there, like because he could have said something else, you know what I mean, but the explicit violin reference there, I feel like was intentional. It's interesting, yeah, like I said, the outside is so vast, and we're seeing a whole spectrum of emotion here.
Your tune. My moods are swinging for you. Oh, I just came back from the moon. Found myself looking right at you. Violets playing into your tune. My moods are swinging for you. Color in my bones.
I'm gonna go back that change up. We're gonna go into that change up in a second. The way it's the way it's set up as well lyrically there. There's an element of following here, and it feels like to me it's MIITO saying, and pardon the pun, I'm playing second fiddle to you. I'm doing what you can't do. I'm making up for the things that maybe you can't do. I'm following the sheet music you've left out. I'm not necessarily gonna play it properly, but I'm doing my best kind of thing. And it feels like it's this acknowledgement that he is it's almost an acknowledgement that to him he's a side character, or that he feels like he is. Interesting. This is so good. We're only 4 minutes in, and I'm just, I know I keep pausing, so you might not think I am, but I'm just enthralled.
From the moon, found myself looking right at you. Violets playing into your tune. My moods are swinging for you. Color in my boots, no blues. Your violets on horizon. Forgot my screws, my booze. My love brings all the light. Honey, don't assume that you knew that I miss you when it's quiet. It's true, I want you to tell me if I'm lying.
I want to talk, we're going to get a conversation, it looks like. When he says, don't assume something when I'm quiet. Sorry, processing, I didn't catch that. That line there feels like, if we look at more the bipolar side of things, a lot of people, there's a stigma with bipolar that people will judge a person who has bipolar and act like they're, I don't want to say evil, but that's the only word I can think of right now. There's a stigma that treats people like that they're evil or that they're other because they're being quiet. And there, I think it was "Don't assume that I love you" or something like that. I apologize there that I'm struggling to process. But it's almost turning it on its head, because I feel like there's a lot of times where when a mania happens with people in bipolar, there is an element of, oh, he doesn't mean it. I'm saying he because obviously we're talking about DPR in here, or oh, they don't mean it, or did it. And in the same way, they might say, oh, he loves you. It's not, da da da. And so it's interesting, this almost twist, and it's almost like MIITO here, because it's not just a strict bipolar experience going on. It's almost like MIITO is almost, again, I'm going to use the word villainously, he's almost villainously laughing at that notion, being like, don't assume that I love you just because I'm being quiet, because it's not who you think it is right now. When someone goes into a manic episode, if they don't have if they don't have DID, sorry, I was forgetting the acronym for a second there. If they don't have that, they're still themselves personality-wise, if that makes sense. They're not unaltered, they're not, something like that. But with Ian's situation, and it not just strictly being that singular bipolar occurrence, shall we say, it's not one and the same, and so I just liked how that played.
That you knew that I miss you when it's quiet. It's true, I want you to tell me if I'm lying.
That's weird. I don't hear the voices anymore. Not bad.
Oh, that was a real change up.
I wonder, what were they so afraid of?
Okay, so I misunderstood this, because I was assuming, no, I suppose actually, I think I've misunderstood this entire video, and it's my own fault. From MIITO's perspective, Ian is the villain. It's Ian that's trying to get back to what he feels as the host, his body. Do you know what I mean? And so it's this real twist, a real subversion, that from MIITO's perspective, he's trying to get out of this, and it's Ian that's mocking him, even though Ian isn't mocking him at all. It's MIITO's interpretation of what's going on, because he only sees himself as having to kind of literally fight for his existence. And so here, with the floating knife, it feels like, and again, if I'm off base with this as well, it feels like he feels stabbed in the back by Ian, because just as he gets his freedom, it's like, right, you're back in the box, you're back in the four walls. I don't know if I'm right or if I'm completely off base again, but if that's what's going on, that's really, really, because it does make you change your whole perspective on things. Looking at that, but especially when you think that if you imagine Ian as that villainous character getting to roam everything else while MIITO feels trapped inside, especially given some of the more dystopian kind of shots that we were getting in terms of like the coloring and things like that, visually. Of course you'd feel like he's the villain. I don't know. Ooh, the painting looked like we're crying.
What were they so afraid of?
Oh.
It's too late. You have to keep going. Oh, it looks like he's in pain. Move. You have to move. They're coming for you. They're here.
No, but you see that now. That makes me think that that's MIITO, and that's MIITO exerting control. You know, we've talked on this channel a lot about how MIITO comes when Ian can't process the trauma, and MIITO comes in to protect. Here, this feels like MIITO is coming back because he got stabbed, because he got hurt, in whatever metaphorical to actual experience in kind of reality it was, and now he's trying to exert that control verbally. I'm so sorry, guys. You guys are probably like screaming at me like, you don't know what's going on. I'm doing my best, okay?
They're coming for you. They're here.
Ooh. I'm going back because I want to check something. I want to see if I can see the movement of the characters, the masked characters. Okay, it was a cut. Okay, sorry, I was just checking.
I am tied to your phone
Ooh.
while our conversations out the door. I'm paralyzed to your eyes. I was worried you'd be surprised. Strapped.
It's definitely MIITO now because of the eye. I remember the eye being the signal of MIITO, if I remember rightly. But even without that, the again, it's the pitch. It feels a lot more vocally rooted in those lower ends of MIITO's range. I love the funkiness. I want to go back. I didn't click on subtitles. Oh, there isn't any. Okay. All right. Is there? Wait. Oh, there is. Okay, I thought that said auto-generated. That's fine. I want to go back because I think the lyric Okay, that's not what I thought he said. I thought he said continuous. So I want to go back to, because I feel like I was missing a lot there. I love the way there with the syllables contagious versus can't take this. The way that they sound so similar. It's so interesting. If you imagine, in my head when I hear those, I hear Ian, like the personage of Ian, kind of saying can't take this. And then I hear MIITO almost saying the contagious. And it's this kind of almost, and it's that moment like he's kind of like, I'm stepping in because if I don't, that energy is then going to come into my energy and I'm not going to be effective. I don't know if that's right, but that's kind of what that feels like.
Perfection hidden in the moonlight, yeah. No difference when it comes to you. When you sing to me, when she sings to me, I fall way too deep. There's no way to see. Tell me what your passion.
I'm gonna come back. The way there, you obviously have MIITO's eye, but then in the other eye, there was almost like a glint of sunlight again. Again, almost showing you that war that's going on in that struggle. It's so interesting. And I'm coming back to this lyric in particular. I feel like a lot of MIITO lyrics, especially throughout this this movie, they've centered a lot on moonlight, and and I don't know if that's just because that's how MIITO sees himself. You know, that you've got the styling of the actual eye kind of looks like a moon, a glassy moon, or if I'm getting that completely wrong, please let me know. But he definitely seems to have this proclivity to enjoy the moonlight. It might again become be a factor that because he sees himself as always been in the shadow, it becomes a natural association because obviously the most common form of shadow occurs at night, in the moonlight, and also in a way, when you think about the light of the moon, it's reflected sunlight. It's it's often seen as less than because it's recycled from the sun. It's not it's not the moon doesn't make its own light, and so there's maybe that kind of awareness, and maybe even, I don't know if I want to go as far as saying hatred and disgust, but there's certainly, I don't know, there's they're towards Ian, because a lot of people obviously would probably say like, Ian being the host, he's the most important person, but here, MIITO, it feels like he's saying, you all want Ian, but I'm the real star of the show. Yes, I was formed from him, kind of thing, but I'm the main, when things go down, it's me that's carrying everything. It's me that maybe you think you're seeing Ian, but you're seeing me. And that just, if I'm wrong with that take, please let me know. But that's what I feel like I'm getting a lot with that. I want to go back to where we were.
There's no way to see. Tell me what your passion. Are we onto something, or is it just a way to keep up? She's wrapped in a.
Ooh.
Are we descending into nothing? Or is it just another reason for us to be awake?
Ooh, the hand, on the eye on the hand.
For us to be awake.
Ooh, and ooh, ooh. Is this Mr. Insanity? I might be completely off base here, because this could just be MIITO, you know, literally breaking out of his reality. But the color scheme feels very Mr. Insanity coded, and I could be wrong with that. I want to go back just to this last section once again before we talk about everything. I just want to hear what he said at the end there. Again, I struggled to follow. Again, me issue. Sorry.
Your passion. Are we onto something, or is it?
Are we
Just after
descending
this.
into nothing? Or is it just another reason for us to be awake?
I love the organ in the background. I also want to see that one in poster again.
For us to be awake.
Oh, I'm pausing the thing. For the murder of Miss Insanity. So yeah, it feels like... Oh, okay. So if I'm right, then Mr. Insanity is kind of... It seems like by the post credit there, he seems to be breaking out to deal with MIITO? Question mark? That is... Ooh, that's very interesting. I've... This is this part here, this part especially. Okay, I'm going to give you my thoughts. I really like that. So if I'm understanding, now that I've seen the whole thing, this feels like a setup for Mr. Insanity's introduction, correct? Please let me know. I just the layers and the depth. I was, for the majority of this, obviously by the way of my commentary, I was focused on this struggle between Ian and MIITO, and now I'm kind of like, Ian's the side character in this. And it's almost... Something's happened to Ian. MIITO, this is my interpretation of what's going on. Something's happened to Ian. MIITO has gotten involved to protect him. Done something. I mean, in the storyline, killed Miss Insanity. Which, you know, I don't think is a literal killing, but maybe did something, you know, the real life equivalent, maybe broken Miss Insanity's heart, hurt her in some way. Emotionally, I'm suggesting here. I don't want to go into that kind of thing, although it may be. And then Mr. Insanity feels like he's become formed from this experience. It almost feels like, I don't want to say as a middle ground, but so far it feels like he if you have one side of the spectrum as MIITO and the other as Ian, there feels like somewhere in the middle, Mr. Insanity is forming, who can kind of see the strengths and weaknesses of both. And so now he's kind of tasked with, it almost seems like it's like he's at this point the alter that is trying to police MIITO, and I might be wrong on that, but it just feels like he's coming into fruition, shall we say, because the way that MIITO deals with situations isn't working. Maybe you could suggest like MIITO's ruining relationships, ruining friendships, ruining the quality of Ian as the host's life. Alternatively, it could be because obviously Mr. Insanity, I feel like, is called Mr. Insanity for a reason. Maybe he doesn't think MIITO has enough chaos, and maybe he's not, and so maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's Ian, MIITO, Mr. Insanity that way, and maybe he's trying to get MIITO out of the way so that he can revel in all this chaos. And maybe this is the kind of the evil kind of thing. There's almost maybe a sabotage of, because of where Ian maybe was at this point in his journey with this. All the chaos, it might have gone, oh, this is MIITO's fault, and then in the corner, Mr. Insanity's kind of chuckling away like, haha, he doesn't know about me yet. Do you know what I mean? Like he's attributing all this to MIITO when in fact it's Mr. Insanity that's doing all this. I'm genuinely blown away. I feel like if Ian didn't do music, I genuinely feel, because I know obviously he does do direction as well, but I feel like if he solely did direction, he would be up there with some of the greats, just purely because he has such a unique vision and way of seeing the world. It's the way that he turns ordinary locations into deep psychological expressions of himself, and it's the way he plays with color and lack of color to put to make a vision of the story, as much a part of the story as anything else. Yeah, I definitely think like if he just was a sole director, I feel like he would be up there with the greats. And again, the reason I'm saying it in this way is because obviously for a lot of people who might not know him, obviously if he made movies there'd be that different audience, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you guys. That was really interesting. Yeah, that was incredible to watch. I'm assuming because of the Don't Go Insane, because obviously I know that that's the song Don't Go Insane. I probably should have picked up on that. That was almost like a teaser of what it feels like. This is a teaser of what's to come. Oh, this is so good. I think the thing that, and it's a good frustration, please, before anyone like goes, oh my god, he's saying the word frustration. I think the thing that frustrates me a lot is and it's it's the way he can take these amazing visuals, but also the way that he can make these amazingly produced songs. And so you're here, like you're vibing, you're moving your head, and it's the way that he's able to lull you in that trap you in that musically, and it frustrates me because I'm like, you probably noticed the way I kept going back and trying to process what was being said. Part of that was me, I just have processing issues, but part of me, it was the fact that like I'm here and I'm just like vabbing, and so I love it, but it's frustrating because I'm like, how dare you lull me into this sonic trap, if that makes sense. Oh, I love it. I love it. Love it. Um, I'm assuming I'm gonna check this out really quickly because as I said, I haven't heard it yet. Um, checklist. I love checklists. Yeah, so these are songs from this album. Okay. I think the last time I did a reaction, I was reacting to songs from the EP, not the album, because that was something that confused me as well. I think the last time um, was um, and it's a me thing, but just the movement from the EP to the album. I think that's what confused me. But yeah. Um, Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I'm just skimming through it. It's visually so good. It's audibly, sonically, s pun, sound. It's it's so good. Oh, I'm nerding out. It's so good. Um, Thank you guys for watching my reaction. It's another long one. I apologize. I don't apologize. I enjoy things in my own way. Um, this was so good. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Um, if you have any comments or answers to anything I've brought up in the reaction, please leave them in the comments below. Of course, support the original video. I will have links, as always, to, well, link in this case, as always, to the original content. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone. Bye.